Hi Sharperoos, welcome to Sharp's Kitchen. This is Miss Badurina here again, and today I'm going to teach you how to make what I like to call a super quick pasta. So this time I improved my videos and I actually did a little chart with all the ingredients that you're going to need. You're gonna need some tomatoes, you're gonna need garlic, crushed pepper, and salt. You're gonna need pasta, and this is gonna be any pasta of your choice. I personally like linguine. You will also need Parmesan cheese, basil, preferably fresh, and some olive oil, and that's it. So let's get going. I already have my mise en place here, so I have my ingredients ready to go. This time or today I'm gonna be using baby tomatoes or cherry tomatoes because I really like this and I actually had a bunch at home, so I need to use them before they go bad. I also had a tomato that was very ripe in my refrigerator, so I'm also going to use it so it doesn't go bad. I hate wasting food, so I'm gonna also mix these two herbs that I have here, my garlic, my basil, and if you can buy your own plant so you can have it fresh at all times. Some of the crushed pepper and the Parmesan cheese, and today I do like linguine a lot, but I actually have fettuccine, so no need to go out and buy it, just use what you have in your kitchen. So this is what I'll be using today. And as you can see, the portions are quite small. I only cook for my husband and I, but you're more than welcome to double the amount of this recipe if you're cooking for more people. So let's get started with the prep. I'm gonna grab my tomatoes and I am going to cut all of these tiny tomatoes in half. So they cook, or they not cook, but they actually, I guess, like, what would be the word, dissolve faster as I'm cooking them. So that's what I'm gonna do with all my cherry tomatoes, and you're gonna do the same at your house. And then if you're using whole tomatoes, which you can also use, whoops, just make sure that they're really ripe, okay, so you get that really sweet juice from the tomato on your sauce. And all you're going to do is cut it really, really thin, because they're so ripe that honestly it's just going to become pure sauce. Okay, in the meantime, I had placed my water so that it can start boiling. You want to be generous with your water so you have plenty of water for the pasta to submerge. And one really, really important thing to make sure that you do is add salt to the water where you're going to cook the pasta, okay? So at least 2 or 3 generous teaspoons of salt, because you don't want your pasta to be like plain, you want it to have some flavor. So I'm just gonna put the lid back on and let it boil, and here is where I'm going to make my pasta. So I'm gonna come back here and then I'm gonna finish cutting my tomatoes. So now that I have this here, I'm gonna turn this on. This is where I'm gonna be making my sauce in this pan, and I'm gonna add olive oil, a generous amount. I love olive oil, so I cook with a lot, and I'm just gonna heat up the oil. In the meantime, I'm gonna grab my garlic, and I have 2 cloves of garlic. You're more than welcome to add more. I love garlic, so I usually use a lot of it. So, you know, honestly, with this recipe is, once you make it, you'll see what you like in it. Like if you want to add a little bit of more crushed pepper for the spiciness, or if you maybe want more garlic for the extra garlicky touch. The beauty of it is that it's really, really easy. So, you know, you can make it any time of the day, and it's a quick meal. All you're gonna do is crush the garlic. Oops, I'm gonna just fly away. That up right away so that my dogs don't eat it. And just do some cutting. Beautiful. So now I'm gonna add my garlic to the oil. Be careful because you don't want to burn the garlic. That's like the worst taste ever. And then I'm also going to add my crushed pepper that I have here, just a tiny bit. Just a pinch, like a spoon, no, a tablespoon, a teaspoon. And then I'm gonna cook the garlic for a little bit. And today you can see, last time I had Pansky be my helper, today is Uma. She's probably just waiting for something to fall. And if you, husband, come over. So this is how it looks like. And you're just cooking the garlic for a little bit because you don't want it to burn. You just kind of like want to take away that strong garlic flavor, okay? And then once you give it a quick cook, there we go. Actually, let me use one that I have. You are just going to throw in your tomatoes. You see? She was ready for that. It's okay, Uma. Those are healthy for you. And then, okay, now that I put my tomatoes back into the bowl, I'm gonna just put them in here where I have my garlic and my olive oil. There you go. And I wish you can enjoy that smell. So good. Garlic, olive oil, and tomatoes. And we are now going to add the basil, fresh basil, which I also love, so I like to add quite a lot of it. So I'm just gonna break it like this. There we go. Look at that. So good. There we go. Then if you want, you can add a little bit of water. And that's it. You are going to cook these for about maybe 20 minutes. The tomatoes are really ripe, so they're gonna cook super fast. And so I'm going to put it like low and just close the lid and leave it there, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes. Hi guys, okay, so about 20 minutes have passed. So come, this is how your pasta should look like. Or not the pasta, but the sauce, right? Your tomatoes. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna grab the smasher and I'm gonna smash the tomatoes to make the pasta thicker. So all you do is smash. This is also gonna help smash those pieces of garlic. And so that way your sauce is gonna be more like consistent and a little bit thicker. Just, you know, give it a few more smashes in there. And what you're gonna do now while you cook the pasta is you're not gonna close it with the lid, just gonna let some water evaporate, okay? So you get that thick, beautiful pasta or sauce for your pasta, sorry. So water is boiling. As I said, make sure you have a generous amount of water in your bowl in there. And then I'm ready to add my pasta. So make sure you read the instructions. Usually a packet of pasta gives you more or less 8 servings, which is about more or less 2 ounces per person. I usually do 8 ounces because I love pasta and my husband does too. And 4 ounces just wouldn't be enough for us. So this is 8 ounces. I'm gonna throw it in the water, and remember, you wanna make sure that your water has salt. We already did that at the beginning. And what you wanna do when you add the pasta is make sure that you stir the pasta so it doesn't stick together. So put it in there and just wait for the water to start boiling again. And then just like stir it a little bit more. The way your pasta won't get stuck or like stick together actually. There we go. I like my pasta what they call al dente. I hate overcooked pasta, so this pasta set to cook it for 12 minutes. I'm actually gonna cook it for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna set my timer for 10. Also, because at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the pasta and mix it with my sauce, and since it's gonna be hot, it will continue to cook. So here we have our pasta. There we go. And our sauce, you see, it's becoming thicker now that the water is evaporating and we've smashed the tomatoes in there. This is now the moment where I like to add the salt when the water evaporates, so you can really get a good feeling of the amount of salt in your sauce. And that's about it. I personally don't like to cook with a lot of salt, so I just use like maybe like half a teaspoon, and that's about it. Because you're using natural ingredients. You have the tomatoes, you have the garlic, you have the basil, the olive oil. So you wanna, like just feel all of those beautiful flavors when you eat your pasta. So we're gonna continue cooking this to boil this. And then we're gonna stir our pasta a little bit more so it doesn't cook. And I'll see you back in 8 more minutes while the pasta cooks. Okay, my loves, pasta is ready. Before we take the pasta out, I'm actually going to grab a little bit of the water just in case I need to add some when I'm mixing the pasta with the sauce. I'm gonna turn this off and carefully drain your pasta. There we go. Voila. I have that there. Oops. No waste. There we go. Really hot. So, there we go. Drain your pasta well. And now, you're gonna finish cooking your pasta in the sauce. And then we're gonna add the Parmesan cheese. Woo, delicious. And I don't know about you guys, but this is honestly one of my favorite dishes. Pasta is. I can just eat pasta every day. And all you do is mix all that delicious sauce that you made with the pasta. There we go. And you let it soak and absorb all the flavors from the garlic, from the tomatoes, all of that beauty. So now, let's turn this off. And what you're going to do is add the Parmesan cheese. This is more or less about 1 ounce. Remember, it's just my husband and I, even though we're definitely eating all of that pasta. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna add the Parmesan cheese in there, and don't do it all at once to prevent like lumps of cheese like forming. Just add a little bit and then mix. The cheese is gonna make the sauce creamier, and also it's gonna thicken it up as well. I like to mix the cheese, oops, put this on, there we go. The cheese with all the pasta and the sauce instead of just putting it on the top. I like how all the flavors, mix together in there. If you don't have Parmesan cheese, guys, you can use any other hard cheese that you have at home. Honestly, especially now during this quarantine, I'm using what I have in my house and just making new recipes and mixing new things. No need to go shopping and buying just the Parmesan cheese. Use what you have at home And I assure you that as long as you're using natural and fresh ingredients like your tomatoes, your onions, your vegetables, and mixing them up, you're gonna get a delicious and really healthy meal. So you see, there we go. We're gonna add the last bit. So hungry. And just give it a little extra mix. There we go. And all that cheese is also already melting in there. There we go. So now we are basically ready to serve this. Delicious. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of pasta. I'm so hungry. I get so excited when I'm about to eat, guys. And just add that in there. Obviously, I'm gonna add a little bit more. Yum, yum, yum. Beautiful. If you want, you can drizzle a little bit of olive oil on the top. There we go. If you want to make it look extra pretty, you can add just a few leaves of basil there. And now the moment that I've been waiting for the past 30 minutes. Let's see how this came out. Perfect. I hope you get to make this recipe at home. Please send me pictures when you're making it with your kiddos, and I do hope that you love it as much as I do. I'm sending you a big virtual hug, and I cannot wait to see all of you at Sharp again. Love you all.